DTFW to me really means if there's anything that you want in life, to do what you need to do to make it happen. You're going to have challenges. There are going to be things that make it difficult. You just have to suck it up and rise above all that and understand that if you want that, if it's that important to you, it's entirely up to you to make it happen. When it comes to getting out of bed in the morning, you have the choice to get out of bed and just take it easy, or you have the choice to get out of bed and to just go full force at everything and have a productive day. It doesn't matter what you're going to do that day. It could be train first thing in the morning, it could be go to work, it could be do things around the house. It shouldn't matter, but make it happen. A lot of people tend to set goals, which is very important, but it seems like many of them, they'll come up with excuses along the way, or a really easy thing to say is life got in the way, which it does. It's always going to. There's no avoiding that. So that has to be understood. What's extremely important that ties into DTFW is adaptability. If you set a goal for yourself, you cannot give up. The goal doesn't change just because your circumstances do. Now, the route you take to get there, to achieve that goal, that will change as life does, but don't throw your goals out the window. Just find a way. It's extremely important. And if you do that, and especially if you apply that to every aspect of your life, you're always going to be content. You're always going to be satisfied with the end result. Sometimes we shoot short of our goals and we fall short. Our performance isn't exactly what we wish it could have been, but that's okay. Just keep trying. It's going to happen eventually. It might take more practice, it might take more time, it might take a little more work, but all of those things are easily doable. And it's up to us as individuals to just understand that and move forward. It says it in the name. Do the work. That's all it comes down to. And if you do, good things will follow. If you don't, you're going to regret it. And you're always going to be in a place you wish you weren't. And you're never going to have the results that you want. You're only going to talk about other people and how they got them and how you're jealous because they did and you didn't. When Sean had told me about the company initially and what it stood for, and I knew it meant a lot to him personally, he didn't even have to ask for me to buy in. I was there. It's such a great message, and some people get it, and some people, they're almost there, but to have other people who might be able to push them into the right direction, which is exactly our goal. We just want to spread the message that if you work hard and you bust your ass, it's amazing what you can achieve. Things you just might have thought weren't possible, they absolutely are. They really are. And it's easy to say, oh, well, be realistic. That's not for me. It could be. You're never going to get there if you don't try. And if you do the work, you very possibly will get there. It's a lot more probable that you'll end up being exactly where you said you might never be. It's a beautiful message. It means a lot to me personally. It's done a lot for me personally. And, I've surrounded myself with good people on this team. They all feel the same way, and they all have very full lives because of it. And I think it's great that we can hopefully help more people have that, if they don't already. And if they do already, I think it's great because they'll have an opportunity to maybe spread that message to other people who need to hear it. I worked straight out of high school. I worked a lot of jobs that I just didn't care for. I wasn't happy. I worked, but I didn't give everything I did 100%. I put 100% into some areas, but I really didn't embrace that philosophy in my youth. You have to approach everything with 100%. And after working enough jobs, one day it clicked, and I said, just for example, I didn't really want to go to college. Didn't think it was for me. I knew how to work. I'd done it for years, and that's what I did. But I realized that in order to change my circumstances, college might help me. And even though I didn't want to do it, I was working full-time job, overtime, unpaid some nights. I enrolled in school and I finished my 4-year degree, working full-time, just paid for long days, but that's what it took. And that absolutely helped me in my professional life. And I'd been in that line of work for years. Seemed like a good place at the time, but I realized that I might be better served making a career move into a different field. And that field, unfortunately, wanted a college degree. It was not the college degree that I studied for. So at that point, I was still working full-time. I actually got laid off and knew I needed to make this career move. In order to do that, I'd have to go back to school. I could either work, and it would take me longer to get that degree, or I could just say, you know what, I've got my savings, I can finish school real fast and get back to work where I want to be. And that's what I did. So I finished another degree in, I believe, a year and a half. And again, I was the guy that didn't want to go to college, but that's what it took. I needed relative experience for that degree, and I didn't have the relative experience at that point. So I finished my degree, got my internship. I've been in that field since, and it's very easy for me to provide for my family now. But if I hadn't taken that approach, I'd still have a job I didn't care for, that didn't do as well for my family, and it just wouldn't be worth it. So I gave it 100%. I'm where I want to be, and I'm still giving it 100% because I can only go up from here. It's a win-win. Also, part of my background is I do have a bodybuilding competition background. I just knew I wanted it, and I did everything in my power to make it happen. I had a good support team, and I made it happen. It was the greatest thing in the world. If I hadn't done the work, I'd still be wishing that I could do better. I'd still be wanting to prove that to myself. And I was able to prove it to myself because I just kept going. But I knew that in the end, I would be happier than ever, and I was. It was absolutely an accomplishment. The whole DTFW mindset, it got me everything. Everything from the career to my accomplishments in fitness to just my general well-being, my life that I'm very thankful for. I'm thankful to have the support team I have. I'm thankful to have my team, DTFW. Thankful for my family, and all of those things I wouldn't have without having done all that work. And I wouldn't give it up for the world, and I'd never change doing that work for the world, because life's not over, and I'll be damned if I don't make the best of it.